Eugene finally arrives at the door of the Red Tower, where a woman is waiting for him. She eventually notices his presence and introduces herself as Hera, a member of the Red Magic Tower. She seems slightly anxious, trying to explain that the owner of the place was supposed to welcome him, but some problems occurred. Just as she finishes speaking, a massive explosion erupts from one of the upper floors. Eugene doesn't even flinch and simply assumes that it was an accident. Hera tries to justify the incident by explaining that the Red Tower specializes in summoning magic, which unfortunately has the highest chance of failure. From the shattered window on one of the upper levels, two shadow beasts rush outside, but suddenly, two red arms stretch out and seize them midair, crushing them instantly. It's revealed that Lobarian was the one who slayed the monsters, having jumped out of the window to do so. He looks back into the building, his gaze filled with fury. His students tremble as Lobarian sarcastically asks how brilliant they must be to summon shadow beasts using a magic circle meant for a different creature. Lobarian starts shouting. If those beasts had escaped, they would have caused mass destruction in the capital, as they lack intelligence and exist only to destroy. The three students look ashamed and plead for forgiveness. Lobarian doesn't care and orders them to pack their things and leave the tower immediately. Suddenly, he notices someone at the entrance and upon looking closer, realizes it's Eugene. Lobarian descends and greets Eugene with a big smile, as if nothing had happened. He is surprised at how much Eugene has grown, while Eugene is equally surprised that Lobarian hasn't changed at all. Lobarian reveals that he maintains his appearance through magic. However, Eugene now perceives the aura surrounding Lobarian, unlike 4 years ago, when he had no mana training. Now he can sense that Lobarian is very powerful, though still far from Sienna's level. Nonetheless, he fits the role of a tower master perfectly. Lobarian mentions that Gilite had already told him Eugene was interested in magic, which Eugene confirms. Suddenly, Lobarian senses someone approaching. The entrance of the Red Tower slowly begins to open, but with a simple glance, Lobarian forces it fully open. Behind the door is a nervous Iode, whose appearance is nothing like the boy who left the Lionheart house 4 years ago. Upon seeing him, Eugene begins boiling with anger, assuming his brother was about to head out to get his essence drained by a succubus. Lobarian tells Iode to come out and greet his younger brother. However, Iode freezes, unsure of what to say. Trying to control his temper, Eugene greets Iode, hoping to build some form of cooperation. Still trembling, Iode responds while Lobarian looks at him with a disgusted expression. Tired of him, Lobarian tells Iode to head back upstairs and spend his time reading, to which the disheveled man agrees and closes the door behind him. Lobarian apologizes for the scene Eugene just witnessed, but Eugene doesn't pay it much attention. Lobarian continues, saying he also heard that Eugene didn't want to learn magic directly from him. Eugene responds that he didn't want to trouble him and adds that if Lobarian became his master, many people would start complaining about favoritism toward the Lionhearts. For that reason, he decided to study magic independently. Lobarian respects his decision, saying he won't expect anything nor interfere. But if Eugene ever needs assistance, Lobarian says he can ask Hera for anything. He even offers Eugene a place to stay in the Red Tower. It won't be as luxurious as the Lionheart estate, but it's still comfortable. After the offer, Eugene asks if he can check out the tower's library first. Now we skip forward 1 month. Eugene's routine at the Red Tower consists of daily visits to the library without exception. He spends all day reading about magic, returning to his room only at night. But that's not all. Early in the morning before heading to the library, he trains his mana. Before going to sleep, he trains his body until complete exhaustion. It's a harsh routine, but in the few hours he rests, his body manages to recover from all fatigue. After reading every magic book in the library, Eugene is ready for a specific experiment. 3 centuries ago, Sienna revolutionized magical practices. She developed a personal method of managing magic, and after becoming master of the Green Magic Tower, other mages began replicating her technique. That method is called circle. When mana within the body is connected and circulated, magic emerges. The circle grows larger as more mana is channeled through it. Even after 300 years, most mages are still introduced to magic through circles. Only dark magicians and spirit mages use different systems. Eugene finally enters a room where Hera is waiting. He asks her if they'll begin with the circle method. Hera confirms, stating that while circle isn't the only approach, it's still considered the most reliable even after 3 centuries. Eugene says he wants to slightly alter the method, which makes Hera hesitant, but she asks him to explain his plan. Eugene mentions that he wants to incorporate the Lionheart mana control technique. Hera explains that mana control in martial arts and in magic are completely different, and without a proper framework, the magic won't manifest. She even warns that a misstep could make the mana explode, potentially injuring or even killing him. Eugene replies that the danger is exactly why he wants to attempt it. He's confident in his process. After all, he's already read every book in the library to prepare. Hera decides not to argue further. She thinks it might be better for him to experience failure himself and gives him permission to try. Summoning a staff, Hera warns him that if things become dangerous, she'll intervene immediately. A Lionheart getting harmed in the Red Tower wouldn't just affect her, but also Loberian, whose reputation could suffer. Eugene begins, surrounding his body with mana using the White Flame method, while Hera watches nervously, unsure of what's about to happen. While concentrating his mana, Eugene thinks that the flame ritual and circle are essentially the same. The only distinction is that the flame method channels the mana through stars, while the circle creates a hook. However, he believes that by replacing the circle with his stars, he can amplify the amount of mana. He'll only need to be cautious when managing the method in different scenarios. Hera is astonished by the display. She can't believe that someone his age is capable of controlling such a vast amount of mana so precisely. Eugene focuses mana in his hand, starting to cast a spell. A fireball emerges in his palm, but in an instant, he transforms it into a light ball. Hera analyzes the scene. Eugene was able to cast 2 distinct spells consecutively without dispelling either. Eugene's mana fades. He looks worn out but is proud of himself because it succeeded on his first attempt. Still holding the light ball in his hand, he asks Hera to summon something to test the power of his spell. Hera casts a magic circle on the floor, and a golem arises. She explains that it is a golem made of cabrium, a creature that functions as a defense mechanism. Eugene shoots the light ball, and it pierces through the golem effortlessly. A while later, Hera is showing Loberian the pierced golem, the result of Eugene's experiment. Loberian tries to comprehend it. Did Eugene truly use the flame ritual to create a circle for magic? Hera confirms she's certain about the purity of his mana, and adds that Eugene's magical strength surpasses that of a third circle mage. Loberian looks stunned. He's deeply impressed by the talent Eugene demonstrated by blending the circle with the flame method. To think someone so new to magic already has a level equivalent to a third circle mage is beyond his expectations. Loberian asks if Eugene is still in the tower, and Hera mentions that he left earlier that morning. He then wonders if it would be inappropriate to write a recommendation letter to Acreon for Eugene. Hera is surprised upon hearing the name of the royal library, Acreon, a place where only elite mages, nobles, and royalty are allowed. Using his magic to levitate parchment and a feather, Loberian says that Eugene is more than qualified. He already mastered the foundational magic texts in a single month, and even used the circle with his cores, creating a spell strong enough to pierce a cabrium golem. Loberian is determined to write the letter. Someone with that much talent should be treated accordingly. Hera mentions that some mages might oppose the idea, but Loberian doesn't care. If they complain, it just means their judgment is clouded by envy. Loberian then asks why Eugene left so early, to which Hera replies that he went to meet a friend. We are then transported to Myrdain Square, a location where a massive statue of Sienna stands. Eugene is staring at it, thinking that the statue's smile resembles Sienna's expression whenever she achieved something magical. Out of nowhere, a muscular man appears. He calls out to Eugene, and upon seeing him, Eugene looks confused, unsure if the man is actually Gargus. The muscular guy confirms that he's Gargus, and Eugene can't believe he has such a beard at 18. They shake hands, and just through that, Gargus notices how much Eugene has trained his body over the past 4 years. However, he thinks it's still not enough and looks for something under his shirt. He pulls out his family's secret muscle growth supplement and offers it to Eugene, who instantly declines. Gargus doesn't give up and insists that Eugene should reconsider after seeing his father lose weight thanks to the supplement, but Eugene tells him to stop trying to push it through his dad. Eugene grows impatient and asks why Gargus called him. He figures it's not just to offer the supplement. Gargus responds by asking if he knows about Bolero Alley. Eugene says that he's heard of it. After all, it's the place Iode often visits. Gargus continues, saying he heard a rumor that a giant's testicle will be up for auction there. Eugene questions whether he heard that right, and Gargus confirms again, making Eugene ask why he would want something like that. Gargus explains that a giant's testicle holds immense value among mages. He plans to create a new, custom muscle growth formula by giving it to an alchemist. Gargus invites Eugene to go with him. He brought money but is worried it won't be sufficient. Eugene's expression turns to disgust, realizing that Gargus only brought him there to ask for funds. Gargus immediately kneels, begging for help. Eugene gets embarrassed by the scene and agrees to assist just to stop the drama. Gargus thanks him and promises to pay him back with interest. He stands and reminds Eugene that there will be other valuable items in the auction, but Eugene doesn't seem interested. Gargus expected that reaction. After all, he's the heir of Wyneth. Eugene says that what intrigues him more is the alley itself. When Eugene was in the Red Tower, he saw Iode in one of the alleys. He showed signs of withdrawal from succubi. Eugene is absolutely certain that when the full moon rises, Iode will head to Bolero Alley. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.